It's been revealed Dockers forward Chris Mayne came close to missing Saturday's preliminary final with a back injury. Mayne was one of a few stars missing at today's open training session with the fans, and Tim Hipsley was amongst the Purple Army.
For once this season, it wasn't just another day in the office. Close to 7,000 fans flocked to Fremantle Oval for the team's last open training session. Chris Mayne stayed behind closed doors. There was concern he suffered back spasms in the warm-up to the game against Sydney and was close to being a late withdrawal, although you wouldn't have thought it after his 13-tackle effort.
It notoriously goes missing early in weeks when there's training to be done, and he'll be zigging around there as fast as anyone, apart from myself on Thursday.
Luke McFarlane and Michael Johnson were also no-shows, while Aaron Sandilands barely got out of first gear, but that's not uncommon for an early week session. The Ruckman says he'll be cherry-ripe for the big day. His influence throughout the finals has been impressive since his return from a long-term hamstring injury.
When you miss so much footy, it's disappointing and you want to get back out there, so I'm just fortunate that I managed to get back later on in the year and get a few games under my belt before the finals.
Only Daniel Pearce and Zach Dawson have grand final experience in the Freo squad. Nat Fyfe has sought the advice of some premiership winning stars to guide him through the week.
I had a bit of a chat to a few guys, Brett Kirk and Cameron Ling, guys that have played in grand finals, and they say really enjoy the week, soak it up. And I've been doing that so far, but really maintaining the focus on what needs to be done to prepare well for the weekend.
While Hawthorn may have been there and done it all before, the Dockers won't be intimidated.
We've shown this year in results, like down at Geelong, that we don't need prior experience to be able to deliver. Our recipe's pretty simple.
Whatever the Dockers do now before heading east will be away from prying eyes, a chance to fine-tune their final lineup. Tim Hipsley, 10 Eyewitness News.
While the Hawks are premiership favourites, there's several of the game's biggest names suggesting the Dockers will make history on Saturday. Lockie Reid is in Melbourne for the week with everything that's moved today as the countdown continues.
Yes, Tim, well, the grand final buzz has certainly hit Melbourne, and they're preparing themselves for an invasion of purple passion in the heart of the city today at Federation Square, where all the kids turn up to get amongst it and enjoy some festivities with the stars of the game. They sign some autographs and entertain each other. There was a sprinkling of Docker fans, but the biggest highlight for the onlookers was the appearance of Nick Naitanui. He's not only popular over there in Perth, but he was mobbed today in Melbourne, the Eagles champ, and he is expecting the Dockers to put up a real good fight come grand final day.
Yeah, played pretty well on the weekend. It was scary to see. It's probably one of the best games of footy I've seen, the best pressure I've seen in a while as well, so I think they can do it.
How would you feel Fremantle winning, being a West Coast fan, or is that sort of die-hard relationship gone away?
No, it'd be tough seeing it, especially living in Perth, knowing all the boys have premierships, but at the same time they've earned it. They've deserved to get to where they are, and if they win it, then, as I said, they've earned it, and it'll be good for the club as well for their first win.
The Dockers with plenty of supporters. In fact, another former Eagle in Chris Judd is also on the bandwagon.
I love watching him play, and there's Nathan Fyfe and Stephen Hill and a couple of other blokes are great to watch, and I think they'll be good enough to get the chocolates this week.
Now, like the Fremantle Dockers, Hawthorn will put through their paces earlier on today. It was their main training session, but not where the fans turn up. That'll be on Thursday, and they're expecting 10,000 people to be in attendance to cheer on the Hawks in their last session before Saturday's big game. Buddy Frankel was up and about. He had a real spring in his step and looks lively and ready to go come Saturday. Replacing Brendan Whitecross is the big dilemma for the Hawks right now. Shane Savage and Jed Anderson seem to be the two contenders for that position. The Hawks hoping for a better result than last year when they lost to the Swans in the grand final.
You know, the memory and the emotional side of it, I think players may draw on this week and try not to repeat that feeling.
We know what to expect, and this, for a lot of the guys, will be actually a third grand final week, if you like. But that being said, Ross Lyon's been in this position a number of times, and they've got some senior, experienced players as well, so I don't think there's any advantage in it.
It's no doubt they're a great pressure side, but I think if you look at the statistics, so are we.
Now, the umpires were confirmed today, and there was a West Aussie feel about it. Brett Rosebery will be in charge of his 6th straight AFL Grand Final, which is an absolutely awesome effort. Ryan Crowley's tagging antics, a major talking point as the umpires had their media conference. Rosebery was actually in charge of the game where Crowley was accused of pinching Brent Harvey, but he's preparing himself for a big game on Saturday.
But if we need to step in at any stage, then we'll do that, and between the three of us, we'll be watching all the players.
So plenty of action already in grand final week, and there is a lot more to come.